It's been no secret that Jevon Carter hasn't filled the role that we thought he would when he was signed last offseason. The limited amount of minutes has gotten to the former Bucks player, and now he has officially spoke out on that and how he feels about Billy Donovan. I'm your host, Joey Mercer. This is another episode of Bulls Digest, and before we get into it there today, I just want to say that about 80% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you can stay up to date with our takes on your Chicago Bulls. So without further ado, let's get in the topic at hand there today, and that is, Carter is here to help. So, Jevon Carter has actually come out and spoken on this and said that regardless of what role that he's in, he wants to help the team. Now, obviously he wants to have some more minutes as he played a bigger role on the Milwaukee Bucks, goes to a worse team in the Chicago Bulls, and then is getting very, very limited playing time. It's very strange to see, but this is exactly what we saw in the Sports Illustrated article on it that I'm going to be breaking down for you guys. It says Jevon Carter admits getting surprised by his lack of playing time this season. The guard remains supportive of the team and his teammates despite not playing much this season. And this was by Nick Ragu. We can see when we look into this one, it says Jevon Carter approached the 2023-24 season with heightened expectations. He was coming off a brilliant season with the Bucks, where he posted career-high numbers of 8 points, about 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and while shooting a blistering 42% from long range. However, things have yet to go according to plan for the 28-year-old point guard in its first season with the Chicago Bulls. Carter has struggled to find consistent playing time, averaging just 13 minutes a game. This is a significant decrease from his previous season, while he averaged over 22 minutes a game. Now, does this have to do with the Bulls point guard rotation? Absolutely not. He is the second point guard, essentially, as Dosunmu's really played more of a shooting guard role, but has also played some bench point guard minutes. But we thought Dosunmu was just going to move to either third string point guard or play more shooting guard, but Dosunmu's been great, and Carter hasn't been getting any minutes, so it's really strange to see there. Next thing we saw in this was the Maywood, Illinois native shared he didn't see this coming when he signed a 3-year deal with the Bulls. Am I surprised? Yes. I don't know, man. I just want to play ball. Whenever my name is called, I'll be ready, Carter said. Despite the lack of minutes, it will not dissuade him from supporting the team and his teammates. Carter's often the first player off the bench to greet his teammates whenever a timeout is called or a big play is made. And it's kind of interesting to see that he's kind of gone to that role instantly, going from such a good team with the Milwaukee Bucks, where they had some battles against the Chicago Bulls, and now being with the Bulls, his hometown team, so to speak, where he is from Maywood, and instantly he's getting less minutes. It's not a great feeling, obviously, but at least he's keeping his head high and just being ready for whenever his name is called by Coach Billy Donovan. Next thing we saw in this was, I want to see my teammates do well. Just because I'm not playing, it ain't got nothing to do with them. It's all love, Carter added. That's good to see that he's not holding any hate or disdain towards any teammates. He's trying to do whatever he can to help the team win, even if it's in only about 13 minutes a game, as we just mentioned. Next thing was, the relationship between Carter and Bulls head coach Billy Donovan remains unmissable, and the two continue to explore where the guard can get opportunities to impact the game. So far, those opportunities have come few and far between, but Donovan has expressed confidence in Carter's abilities and remains supportive of him. Carter has received 3 DNP, which is did not plays, of course, designations this season, which is really interesting to see as well out of him. But Coach Billy Donovan doesn't seem to think that he's going to be the right fit in the lineup, so it's hard to argue with that. But I do think that he could have gotten some more minutes earlier on, and I think he definitely will now that Lavine's out for the season and Patrick Williams is on the shelf for who knows how long. I do think that we're going to see a lot more of Jevon Carter, and he played great against the Hawks last night. I think this is the beginning of something really good for him and getting some more playing time with the Chicago Bulls. Of course, it said next, we need Jevon to shoot when he has opportunities to. I think that helps our team and is what he's really elite at, Donovan said. I think the other part of it is his ability to pick up full court. But to be honest, there have been some situations where he has gotten into the rotation in the first half, but the way the game has gone in the second half, the situations have gotten a little bit smaller, and I've gone with other guys. and he doesn't really talk about too much why that may be. I would say it might have to do with the offense. I know he's struggled a little bit more on the offensive end. He's a great catch-and-shoot guy, but creating offense, Jevon Carter isn't the greatest guy around. His defense, like he just mentioned, picking up full court is so good, as he even caused Trae Young to have an 8-second violation last night. So he is one of the better point guards at doing that in the entire NBA. Next, we can see the thing I respect about him, like any of these guys. They always want to be playing, is he always keeps himself ready. Some of it has really just been more my decision in those second halves. But outside the last game, for the most part, he's been in the first half. It's just the second half. Whether it's playing bigger, it has bled into some of his minutes there. And that's an interesting take for sure for him to say that he doesn't feel like Jevon Carter can be the guy down the stretch. Interesting. You think you'd want a guy that has some of that pedigree of playoff time to be in going down the stretch, but Billy Donovan seems to like the young guys for that. And right now, the Bulls, it's hard to disagree with that. They have been solid as of late, and it was just really the start of the season that was so poor from them. We can see here when we look into his crafted NBA, he is a point guard, obviously, and is only 6 feet tall with a 6'4" wingspan, so a pretty average size there. A little bit short, honestly, at the point guard position, but with the wingspan, it's a little tiny bit better. 200 pounds, he's just 28 years old, so still has some time. Definitely no potential to get any better, but he still has some years left at where he is right now. Next thing that we saw, and the last thing that we're going to mention here, is just talking about how he's playing so far this season. We break down. We know that he's been very solid. Last year with the Bucks, shot 42% from 3, and this year with the Bulls, the minutes have been limited so much that's kind of nice to look at the advanced metrics breakdown to see exactly what he's doing well that isn't just showing on the box score. We can see his true shooting is really bad this year, and he's taken a massive dip in that at the 8th percentile, and he's never getting to the rim at all, one of the worst in the league at that. He shoots a lot of threes, too, compared to everything else that he's shooting on the court. It's mostly threes, and his shot quality is still very solid. He doesn't grab many offensive rebounds, but I never worry too much about that for a point guard, especially one that's 6 feet tall. He does turn the ball over a little bit, but nothing crazy when he's trying to create. He just doesn't do that all too much, as we can see the creation's about league average, and the load is a little bit above. His portability to fit on any team is lower because of how he's played this season with his true shooting percentage, his inability to get to the line, and he hasn't played too many minutes, so that's a big reason for that being about league average, maybe a bit below, and his passer rating is not too high. He is not a point guard to come up and run plays, which might be the reason why Billy Donovan doesn't have him in as much, because if you look at the Bucks, they have guys that have the ball in their hand a whole lot more. DeRozan can definitely do that, but I don't think Donovan sees the game like Budenholzer did when Jevon Carter was on the Bucks, so that could have to do with that as well. It could be a lot of Donovan. We can see there that his crafted offensive plus-minus is below league average. He's at the 34th percentile, and he's really struggled on the offensive end. That's been the biggest thing that I've noticed of him so far this year. Look at deflections. He's one of the best in the league at getting deflections at the point guard position at the 94th percentile, and that's great to see. He hasn't caused as many defensive turnovers as he did last year, but his defensive rebound is pretty solid. It's just around league average, if not a little bit above. His rim defense is solid. It's just he's not going there very often, because once again, he's 6 feet tall, and he's really trying to chase the perimeter players off that three-point line, and rightfully so. His block percentage is actually very solid for a guy that's only 6 feet tall at the 68th percentile. I was really wowed by that number. His versatility isn't as good this year because, once again, he is a guy that picks people up full court. That doesn't work on every single team. And also with the Bulls so far this year, it hasn't been the most minutes given to him to really shine. He doesn't foul too often. It's about league average, and overall his defense has been about average this year, but I expect that to go up substantially over the next coming weeks as he's getting a lot more playing time with Lavine out. I really do expect Jevon Carter to be the guy to really hold that bench together, as I could see Dosunmu getting a lot more minutes now with Lavine out of the lineup. I hope Dosunmu can continue his hot play as of last night, and with that career night against the Atlanta Hawks, that was great to see, and I hope that Jevon Carter can also continue his solid play as he had a really good game against the Atlanta Hawks. This has been your host, Joey Mercer. I hope you enjoyed the video there today. If you did, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, comment on the video. I'd like to hear from all you guys. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and we'll see you all in the next one. Sign out.